Obviously, it's Jonathan Agger, fifth for Pro Boxing Fans Fight Week here in Madison Square Garden, joined by Callum Smith. Callum, good to be back.
Yeah, good to be back. Nice place, good place to showcase your skills, and I'm excited for my brother Liam the weekend.
What's it like for you this week? Obviously, last time I think you were here was for your fight. What's it like now as, I guess, a fan and supporting your brother?
Yeah, it's good. I think I'll probably take it in a little bit more being here this time. When you're fighting, you get a bit tunnel vision. You're kind of focused on your job at hand, and you can't really afford to sit and be taken back by where you are and what you're about to do. And it's only after you fight you kind of sit back and realise what you've done. And being here this week's kind of making me appreciate the fact that I've been here, I've done it, I've defended my world titles here, and it was a successful defence at that. But no, I'm excited for my brother Liam. He's in a very good fight, and a fight that a win puts him in a very good position after it. And I think just he had a little bonus. He's getting a chance to fight at Madison Square Garden, makes it a little bit better.
Break that fight down for me. What do you see has been the difference between your brother and Jessie Vargas?
I think it's a good fight. They're both former world champions. They both want to be world champion again, and it's a long way back for the loser, and the winner's in a very good position. So I think when you get them situations and the chips are down, there's a lot at stake. The good fighters perform and they deliver, and I think we'll see two good performances. And I just think over the 12 rounds, Liam's a good 12-round fighter. He's a good solid 154. Jesse, probably a big welterweight, but not really the biggest light middleweight. And I think with the inactivity, I think that might play a part later on. And I just think the fight will be pretty competitive early on, and I think as it gets later on, Liam will come into his own and start dominating and get a point to win or a late stoppage. And
what do you think of the main event, Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor?
I think it's a great fight. I think I'm a massive Taylor fan. I think she's phenomenal what she's done for the sport, and I think the first women's fight that I sat and watched properly was probably Serrano. I think it was on the Gail Dujak undercard. She had a good fight and there was a good atmosphere, and what she's done throughout the weight divisions is great as well. And I think just even looking at the betting odds to see, I think Katie Taylor's the underdog, which is crazy. It shows how good the stand of the fight is, and I think it'll be a good one for the fans. I think that it should be a good one to watch. And I've swapped and changed, but I'm going to go with a Katie Taylor win on points.
Over to you. You announced yourself to the light heavyweights in some fashion last time out. Just talk to me about that knockout of the year.
It was a good one. I didn't get knockout of the year, but it was a good one just to announce myself in a new weight division. I think when you move up to a weight division and you come back after a loss, there's a lot of question marks on how you'll be, and I was with a new trainer. There was question marks over that, and whether I'd be big enough or punch hard enough at light heavyweight. And I was always confident I was a big enough super middle and I'd be a big light heavyweight. And fighting a fighter who former world title challenger and went to points with Dmitry Bivol to then do what I'd done and knock him out was a bit of a statement, and showed that I am big enough to compete at this level, and I believe I'm good enough to as well.
Were you concerned at all? I know obviously you got the win, but he was in quite a distressed state for a few minutes. Were you concerned?
Yeah, definitely. That's the last thing you want as a fighter. You want to win the fight, but you never want to win in those circumstances. You certainly never want to cause any more lasting damage. It's a sport at the end of the day. Everyone has a family to go home to, and it was a worrying time for a bit, but thankfully he was okay, and I believe he boxed again a few weeks ago, so obviously there's no lasting damage, which is a good thing.
Now you've got a great position with the WBC. Have you spoken to Eddie Hearn over there? What's next for you?
No, I'm hoping to speak to him this week. We've had brief conversations over the last few weeks.
We are here today.
If I can go in a final eliminator to the WBC, that'd be a good move. Obviously the belts are tied up at the moment, so I think the best way of getting a shot is to get myself mandatory for one of the belts, and if that's the WBC, then that's the route we'll go. But I just want to get back in the ring. I want to fight, and I want to keep progressing, and each win gets me one step closer to becoming a two-division world champion.
And just quickly, Canelo Bivol next week. How do you see it going?
It's a good fight. Bivol's a very good fighter. He's a very good boxer, and he's a lot better and effective at what he does when you're in with him. He doesn't, he's not flashy, he's not a big knockout artist, but he's very hard to beat. And I think it'll be a good, close, competitive fight. I just think Canelo, I don't know whether Bivol hits hard enough to put a dent in Canelo, and I think Canelo might possibly come from behind, but I think Canelo wins on points.
Callum, appreciate your time.